Good day, this is a pre-recorded video for February 21, next week. Okay, so let's try to answer our formative assessment number 3. So I will show you the correct answers as well as the proper solutions to our quiz last week. Okay, so for number 1, we need to calculate the future value of an investment after 12 months given an initial investment of 25K at a simple interest rate of 1% per annum. Okay, so let's start with the given. So we have here a given principal, which is equal to 25,000. Our I, or interest rate, is 1%, or that's 0.01. So we are asked to calculate for F, and since this is a simple interest, our formula is P times 1 plus I times N. Okay, so take note that our duration here is 12 months, and 12 months is equal to 1 year. So N is just 1 year. Okay, so substituting the given values, we have 25,000 times 1 plus 0.01 times 1 year. So our future value is 25,250 pesos. So this is the answer for number 1. Next, number 2. So we are asked to find the future value given a P of 10,000 pesos. The annual interest rate is 6.75%. However, take note that this is a nominal interest rate since we have here compounding quarterly. Okay, so this is R. And for our time, N is equal to 10 years. So find F. So our formula this time for compound interest is P times 1 plus I raised to the power of N. So we need to convert the nominal interest rate into the interest rate per period. Okay, so I is equal to R divided by M. So the M is 4 since quarterly yung sinabi dito sa problem. Okay, so substituting everything, F is equal to 10,000 times 1 plus 6.75% divided by 4 raised to the power of, so 10 years, however, it is compounded quarterly. So every year meron tayong 4. So 4 times 10, that is 40. So your answer should be 19,530.03 pesos. Number 3. So find the effective interest rate given a nominal rate of 9.25% compounded monthly. So the formula for EIR is this one, 1 plus R over M raised to M minus 1, wherein M is the number of compounding periods per year. So since this is monthly, M is equal to 12. So EIR is 1 plus 9.25% divided by 12 raised to 12 minus 1. This is 9.65%. Number 4. Determine the present value of an investment required to withdraw 2K annually for the next 10 years, assuming an interest rate of 9%. So I here is 9%. So we are finding for the present value, which is P, that is our unknown. And the given here is 2,000 pesos. However, meron kang phrase na 2,000 pesos annually. Therefore, this one is A. So A equals 2,000. Okay, and for the period, N is 10 years. So we have here A, and we are looking for P. So our formula to find P given A is that P is equal to A times 1 plus I raised to N minus 1 all over I times 1 plus I raised to the power of N. So substituting A, I, and N. Here in our formula, we should be able to get P equals 12,835.32 pesos. And for number 5, so we are going to draw the cash flow diagram for the following scenario. Okay, so in this scenario, the investment cost for this combustion vessel is 100K with a lifespan of 10 years. The market value is negligible, so 0. Annual cost and maintenance and electric power cost total to 10,000 pesos. And at the 5th year, so meron pa tayong additional cost na 30,000 pesos. So if we draw our cash flow diagram, okay, so our time scale would be from year 0 up to year 10. Okay, so at year 0 or at the present, we are going to invest 100,000 pesos. Okay, so meron tayong downward cash flow here at the beginning. Okay, and from year 1 up to year 10, so meron tayong monthly or annual cost rather na 10,000 pesos. Okay, so from year 1 up to year 10. Okay, so meron tayong 10,000 annually. Okay, so let me draw the arrows. So this is 10K. However, meron pa tayong additional na 30,000 pesos at year 5 or at the 5th year. Okay, so we have here an extra arrow indicating the 30,000 cost. Okay, so this will be our cash flow diagram. And as you can see, we have no positive cash flow dito sa year 10 since the market value is negligible. Okay? So for our problem solving, so you serve as the municipal engineer for this town, San Ildefonso, and we have 3 alternatives for supplementing our water supply. So the first alternative will be utilizing the deep well pumps, okay? And this will cost us annually 10,500 pesos. For the second option, we are going to use 18-inch pipeline from our reservoir, okay? So this alternative has an initial cost of 25K and annual pumping cost of 7K. And for the third alternative, we are going to use 24-inch pipeline. Okay, so this comes with a higher initial cost of 34K. However, the annual cost is 5K. Okay, so for all alternatives, the lifespan is 20 years. And for the second and third alternative, we are going to have a salvage value of 10% of the initial cost. So meaning, for alternative 2, okay, so the salvage or market value is equal to the 10% of 25K. So this is 2,500 pesos. For alternative 3, the salvage value is 10% of 34,000, which is 3,400. Okay, and for our minimum attractive rate of return, or that is our interest rate, it is going to be I equals 8%. So the first instruction here is draw the cash flow diagrams for each alternative. Okay, so let's start with A1 for alternative 1. So this is the deep well. So we are looking at it from 20 years time. Okay, so medyo mahaba yung magiging cash flow diagram natin. So let's just cut it short. Okay, so from year 0 up to year 20. Okay, so year 0 wala tayong gagastuhin since existing na tong deep well. Okay, so magkakaroon lang tayo ng babayaran annually. So that's from year 1 up to year 20. So ang babayaran natin every year would be 10,500. So we have negative cash flows, okay, amounting to 10,500. Okay, so ganito yung itsura ng cash flow diagram for alternative 1. So let's idiretso na natin. Let's compute for the present worth. Okay? So to get the present worth for A1 or alternative 1, so we just convert the annual cost into its present value. Okay? So ano ulit yung gagamitin nating formula? So we have here A times 1 plus I raised to n minus 1 all over I times 1 plus I raised to n. Okay? Wherein your A is 10,500. Okay? I is 8%. N is 20 years. So all are given. So we just need to input the values into our calculator to get 103,090 pesos 0.55 cents. Okay? So take note that this is a negative value since we are talking about cost or negative cash flow. Okay, so let's proceed to alternative 2. So drawing muna natin yung kanyang cash flow diagram. Okay, so again, we start from year 0 up to year 20. Okay, so this time for A2, our annual cost would be, annual cost for year 2 is 7,000 pesos. Okay, so that's the annual pumping cost. So from year 1 up to year 20, meron kang downward na 7,000 pesos. And don't forget that meron na tayong initial cost. Okay? Since magpapatayo tayo ng 18-inch pipeline. Okay? So the initial cost would be 25K. So that is placed at year 0. Okay? And we also have the salvage value. So again, salvage value or market value is always a positive cash flow. Okay, so we have here 2,500 na pataas. Okay, so that's the cash flow diagram. So how about the present worth of alternative 2? So since this initial cost 25K is already a present worth, okay, so no need to transform it. Okay, so I will just write 25,000. So in this case, I will just use the negative notation since we are talking about negative cash flows. Okay, for the 7,000, since this is an annual cost, we need to convert it into present. Okay, so that's negative 7,000. Then we use this formula again. So 1.08 raised to 20 minus 1 times 0.08 times 1.08 raised to 20. Okay? And then what else? So this 2,500 salvage value, okay, so that is a future value. Therefore, we need to convert it also into present value. Okay, so this is F. So how do you convert F to P? So again, our formula is, so F times 1 plus I raised to negative N. Okay, so that is our formula. So calculating this using your cycle, you should get around 93,190. Okay, so around this value. And this is a negative. Okay, so negative present worth. So this indicates that we have costs. Okay, and for alternative 3, so we draw again the cash flow diagram, but this time the initial cost would be higher. So magiging 34K. Okay. However, the annual cost will be lower. Okay. So 1, 2, 1920. So it is lower. This will be 5K instead of 7 kanina. Okay, and the salvage value is of course 3,400. So that's 10% of your initial cost. So PW of A3, so same formula. So just change the values. Okay, so instead of 7, gawin natin 5,000. And then, so we always add the salvage value since it is positive. So plus 3,400, 1.08 raised to negative 20. So you should be able to calculate a value of 82,361 pesos. Okay, this is negative also. So in fact, all our present works are negative. So to answer item B, which alternative should you recommend? So we choose the present worth value, which is the least negative. So among the three, the least negative alternative, okay, is alternative number 3. So ibig sabihin, mas mura yung A3 or that is the 24-inch pipeline. Okay, so yun yung gagamitin natin. So choose alternative 3 since it has the least negative PW or present worth. Okay? Then for problem 2, this time we have a new equipment. Okay? And for the equipment proposal, the initial investment will be 8K. The study period is 10 years. Okay? No salvage value at the end of the 10 years period. Okay? And the revenue is estimated at 2,400 pesos per year. And take note, we are going to assume our interest rate to be 18%. Okay? So draw the cash flow diagram for this proposal. So again, we have our time scale. Okay? So this time, 10 years. So we are going to cut para mas madali. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, up to year 10. Okay? Ayan. So meron ba tayong initial cost or investment? Yes, that is 8,000. So that is a negative cash flow. Then, since no salvage value, okay, so wala tayong positive dyan sa year 10. Meron bang sinabing annual maintenance cost? Wala. However, meron daw tayong revenue which is 2,400 pataas. Okay? So, these are 2,400 pesos each year. So, this is our cash flow diagram. Okay? To make sure that the arrows have same height. No? Kasi these are equal end of year payments. Next, what is the annual worth of this proposal? So since these 2,400 are already annual payments, okay, so we do not need to convert this anymore. So AW is equal to positive 2,400, okay? Minus, meron tayong negative na cash flow dito. However, it is at the present value, no? So we need to convert this 8,000 into its equivalent annual value. Okay, so how do we do that? So since we know that the formula for finding P given A, so we just manipulate that such that our formula becomes P divided by 1 plus I raised to N minus 1 over I times 1 plus I raised to N. Okay, wherein P here is 8,000. I is 18%, so that's 0.18. And here is equal to 10 years. Okay? Plugging in the values into our equation, we should get 619.88 pesos, or that is approximately 620 pesos. Okay? So how do we answer letter C? Is this proposal a sound one? Yes, this is a sound one. This is economically justified since the annual worth is 620 and 620 is greater than or equal to 0. Okay, so this project or equipment proposal is recommended.